The buyers have no energy at all. The sellers are absolutely dominating here. There's a struggle between sellers and buyers. The sellers are losing their momentum. There's a chance to break this downward movement and start forming a new upward trend. Hello friends, good day. You're on the Old Trader channel. My name is Vladimir Karashov. Today we'll take a look at Microsoft. We'll talk about why the downward movement continues for this instrument. What are the targets for this movement? We'll look at one of the attempts to reverse the downward trend currently seen in Microsoft. So be sure to watch this video until the end. As usual, the most interesting part is at the end. So, friends, let's get started. Let's look at the nature of the movement we're seeing right now. A downward trend in Microsoft? It's obvious and clear to everyone. Let's compare it with the previous downward trends this instrument had. And notice, while we now see powerful, heavy, high-amplitude monthly red candles, like in January 2026 and February 2026, look at the downward movement before that. There was no consensus. A red candle with a small body, then a green one, then red again, then green. This shows a struggle between sellers and buyers, and there's no strong urge to sell. Notice the previous downward trend. 2 monthly red candles, 1 green, and long lower shadows, meaning they're trying to buy up this stock. Then 3 red candles and a green candle. They're trying to buy again, another green candle. Now compare that to what we have now. This is a completely different story, friends. This movement has serious shorting energy from those who are currently driving the downward trend. So friends, learn to recognize the strength of a trend. This is very, very, very important. I'll also mention that 3 weeks ago we recorded a video about Microsoft, and even then we said not to buy this stock because the downward trend would continue. And accordingly, in February, we see the continuation of this downward impulse. There is also a very high amplitude candle, which indicates to us that the energy pushing the stock down is quite serious. Well, if that is indeed the case, then at the moment it is simply not worth looking in the direction of this stock. But notice, the current support level, the target this downward movement is heading toward, is at $349.67. This level was established back in November 2021. Right here is when this level was formed. We're nearly $20 away from reaching that level. Let's look inside this long-term monthly trend, and I'll show you an attempt by mid-term traders to break it and what happened. To do this, we'll switch to a mid-term time frame, the weekly chart. And notice, let's look closer at the attempt to break the trend, because before this, we had an almost linear downward move. And notice, at the start of March, a candle appears, a weekly candle, whose body's high is higher than the high of the previous candle's body. The candle's wick goes higher, meaning there's a chance to break this downward movement. Also notice that before this, we had 2 weeks with small candle bodies, even 3 weeks with small candle bodies. This suggests that the downward momentum is fading and sellers are becoming less active. But my friends, it's important to realize that this is only an attempt to break the trend. This isn't a reversal pattern. A reversal pattern usually consists of 3 phases: the end of the trend, counter-trend volatility, and stabilization. So first, the trend breaks, then those who disagree with this shift continue to push the trend down in the direction of the previous trend. But then a balance of interest emerges, a stabilization candle with low volatility appears, and only then can we see a potential new long trend. This is very important to understand. Let's talk specifically about what we're seeing now with Microsoft. Now, if after this week we had seen a week like this, that would be good. Counter-trend volatility. So first, we break the downward trend that started right here. Yes, a downward trend was developing. It ends here, and counter-trend volatility begins. And if, my friends, last week we hadn't seen such a volatile week, but instead had experienced a small weekly candle like this one, with a relatively small body and short wicks, and if this week we hadn't continued moving down but had actually gone up instead, then yes, then we could say that we really do have a good chance to break the downward trend and start forming a brand new upward trend. But that didn't happen. Instead of seeing a small candle like that right here, we unfortunately saw the downward trend continue both last week and this week. And as a result, let's go back to the monthly time frame for a moment. We're currently right at the March lows, This shows that the buyers have no momentum at all. Sellers are in absolute control here. And I'll repeat, the first target the sellers are pushing this trend toward is once again the level of $349.67. a level that was established back in November of 2021. Again, here's when that level was formed. It's a very significant level. It was confirmed right here, and then it was confirmed again here. And in my opinion, this is the primary target for the current downward trend in Microsoft. So don't rush. Let's wait until the stock reaches this level. As a reminder, we're currently trading at $370. We're only $20 away from a very strong support level. And that's exactly where I believe we'll see the formation of a truly solid, high-quality reversal pattern. And only after that will it be possible to make trading decisions and open positions. Friends, I have a huge favor to ask. If you understood what I'm talking about in this video, please give it a like. Good luck to everyone, and I wish you all successful trades. See you and talk to you soon.